What if I told you that one of television's most beloved couples has been quietly living in one of the most stunning homes in all of New York City, and most people had absolutely no idea what was behind those front doors? Because when fans and media got a closer look at where Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos actually call home, the reaction was nothing short of breathless. Stay with me, because what we're about to uncover is equal parts jaw-dropping, heartwarming, and completely unexpected. If you've tuned into daytime television at any point in the last 2 decades, you already know the names. Kelly Ripa, Mark Consuelos, two people who managed to turn a chance meeting on a soap opera set into one of Hollywood's most enduring, most talked about love stories. Kelly Ripa has been a fixture in American living rooms since her days on All My Children, where she played the fiery Haley Vaughn for over a decade. From there, she launched herself into the stratosphere of daytime talk, first co-hosting Live with Regis and Kelly, and now headlining Live with Kelly and Mark alongside her real-life husband. The show is a cultural institution, beloved for its warmth, its humor, and yes, for the effortlessly natural chemistry between its two hosts. And Mark Consuelos? He's not just a familiar face from Riverdale and a string of acclaimed acting projects. He's also a sharp entrepreneur, a devoted father, and the man who swept Kelly off her feet more than 25 years ago. Together, they have built something rare in Hollywood, a family, a partnership, and a life that actually seems to work. But where exactly does all of that life happen? Where do Kelly and Mark come home to when the studio lights go dark and the cameras stop rolling? That question just got a very glamorous answer. New York City has always been Kelly Ripa's playground. She's spoken openly and lovingly about her deep connection to Manhattan, the energy, the culture, the pace. It's a city that suits her perfectly. And over the years, eagle-eyed fans and sharp-eyed entertainment reporters have caught glimpses here and there, a candid stroll through the Upper East Side, a holiday decorating segment filmed at home, a casual interview where the backdrop told a story all on its own. But it wasn't until recently that a fuller picture began to emerge, one that stopped fans mid-scroll and sent social media into a quiet frenzy of admiration. Because the home that Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have crafted for themselves in New York City is not simply a place to sleep between television tapings. It is, by every measure, a masterpiece. Let's talk about what fans and entertainment outlets have observed and reported over time, because it is genuinely stunning. The couple's New York City residence is the kind of space that feels almost cinematic, warm, and inviting, yet undeniably grand. Classic New York architecture meets thoughtful, deeply personal interior design. High ceilings, natural light flooding through oversized windows, curated artwork lining the walls, not the cold, gallery-style installations you might expect from a celebrity home, but personal, meaningful pieces that reflect a life actually lived and deeply cherished. The kitchen, which has made appearances during cooking segments and candid social media moments, radiates that rare quality that interior designers call livability. It isn't just beautiful to look at. It looks like a place where real dinners get made, where kids crowd around the counter, where Sunday mornings happen slowly and without pretense. The living spaces are anchored by rich textures and a color palette that feels both timeless and current, deep tones, soft neutrals, and the occasional unexpected pop of character that reminds you these are two creative people who have very strong opinions about aesthetics. And then there's the personal touch that runs through every corner of the space. Family photographs, mementos from travels, the kind of intentional curation that says this home belongs to people who love their life and want their surroundings to reflect that. It is, in every sense, a home that feels earned. But here's what makes this story more than just a celebrity home tour. Here's what makes it actually moving, if you stop and think about it. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos met in 1995. They eloped just months after falling in love, a decision that raised more than a few eyebrows at the time, in an industry where relationships rarely survive the pressure. And yet, here they are, 3 grown children, a quarter century of marriage, a shared career, a shared home, a shared life that, by all observable accounts, they genuinely treasure. When you look at that New York City home through that lens, it transforms. It stops being just a luxury property and becomes something more like a portrait. A portrait of a couple who built something real together in a world that doesn't always make that easy. Kelly has spoken in interviews about how important it is to her that home feels like a sanctuary, a place that shelters the family from the noise and the scrutiny and the relentless pace of public life. And when you see the way that space is designed with comfort and warmth and personal meaning at its center, you understand exactly what she means. Mark, for his part, has talked about the importance of anchoring, of having a physical place that grounds you when so much of your professional life is motion and change. The home they've built together in New York feels like exactly that kind of anchor. And fans have feelings about all of this. Very loud feelings. When glimpses of the couple's home circulate on social media, whether through behind-the-scenes content, lifestyle features, or candid moments shared by Kelly herself, the response is immediate and enthusiastic. Comment sections fill up with admiration. Twitter and Instagram buzz with appreciation. People aren't just impressed by the aesthetics. They're moved by the story the home represents. This is what love actually looks like. One fan wrote under a recent post that showed a quiet corner of the couple's living room. They built this together. I love them. Entertainment outlets have taken notice too. Profiles on the couple frequently make note of their New York City home as a reflection of who they are, not as a performance of wealth or status, but as a genuine expression of their values, their history, and their taste. It consistently comes across as aspirational without being alienating, glamorous without feeling cold. That's a hard balance to strike. And Kelly and Mark somehow manage it every single time. It's worth pausing here to talk about what all of this means in the context of Live with Kelly and Mark, because the show and the home are, in a very real sense, extensions of the same story. The daytime talk show, which airs every weekday morning to millions of viewers across the country, has always derived much of its appeal from the sense that what you're seeing is authentic. Kelly and Mark don't perform their relationship for the camera. They bring it to the camera, complete with the teasing, the affection, the occasional mild exasperation, and the obvious deep respect and admiration they have for each other. That authenticity translates directly to how fans engage with their personal life. When people see the home Kelly and Mark have built, they aren't surprised by its warmth. They already knew it was there. The show told them. In many ways, the home tour, even the partial, glimpsed, curated version that fans have pieced together over time, feels like the final chapter in a story that Live with Kelly and Mark has been telling every morning for years. This is what the life behind the television smile looks like, and it's just as good as you imagined. In a pop culture landscape saturated with celebrity news that leans heavily on drama, scandal, and spectacle, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos represent something genuinely refreshing. They are, by every observable measure, just two people who like each other enormously and have built a beautiful life around that fact. Their home in New York City is a piece of that larger narrative. It's the physical embodiment of what happens when two people in a relentlessly public industry manage to stay grounded, stay connected, and stay committed to what actually matters. And the audiences understand that. That's why a home tour, even a glimpsed, partial one, generates genuine emotional responses. Because it's not just about the square footage or the design choices. It's about what the whole thing represents. Hollywood couples come and go. Love stories ignite and fade. But Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have outlasted the trends, the headlines, and the skeptics. And they've done it with their warmth intact, their humor intact, and apparently, their sense of interior design very much intact too. At the end of the day, what makes this story resonate isn't the luxury or the real estate. It's the reminder that behind the morning show smiles and the red carpet appearances, there's a real home where real life happens. Where a couple who fell in love on a television set almost 30 years ago still comes home to each other every night. That's the kind of story that doesn't get old. And in this particular case, it comes with truly spectacular window treatments. So the next time you catch Liv with Kelly and Mark and see that easy, genuine warmth between the two of them, remember what's waiting for them when the credits roll. A home built with love, designed with care, and filled with a history that no luxury brand or interior decorator could ever replicate on their own. Some things you just have to earn. And this couple, they've earned every square inch. What do you think? Does the home match the vibe you always imagined for Kelly and Mark? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We genuinely love to hear your take on this dynamic duo and the life they've built together. And if you enjoyed this entertainment update, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more celebrity news, Hollywood stories, and pop culture deep dives delivered right to your feed every single week. We'll see you in the next one.